What's going on, everybody? David here, back with another live stream. Now, I've started early, and you know what? I used to have my little clock. It's been a while since I've been live, but let's see. Do I still have the clock? I think it's on here somewhere. Maybe I can find it. And I don't know. I don't see it. I don't see it. But welcome, everybody. Thank you guys all for being here. We have a few different topics to talk about. We're officially going to start at 7:15, so I'm here just a little early so we can maybe answer some questions. If you guys have questions or anything like that, we can talk about that stuff right now. So I have a rare Saturday or Friday off, and so I decided, hey, you know what? Let's do a live stream, and let's see what people have to talk about. And there's a lot of stuff going on right now. I know you guys all know. Hopefully you guys, what happened? What happened? When you guys say what happened, I get concerned. So let me know if there are any problems or anything like that. If you guys can see me, hear me, and all that, just let me know. Let me raise the volume just a little bit. There we go. Hopefully that's better. Now, I'm doing something a little different. That's really loud. I'm doing something a little different. I have Instagram going live right now as well. So I don't know if you guys know, but I do have an Instagram, and I'm trying to build this Instagram up because I've been working so much on YouTube, and I have neglected my Instagram. Well, let's say I never even really got started with Instagram. So I wanna start doing some stuff on Instagram. So follow me on Instagram. It's Travel Explore Click. So at Travel Explore Click. Just go over there, and you can go over there right now. I'm live right now, so you can come over. You can kind of see a different angle of me. I will answer some questions on Instagram while we're doing the live stream, maybe towards the end. But we're going to talk about a few different things today. And while we're waiting, I have something important to talk about. And this was something that was brought to my attention by Miss Happy Apple. Thank you very much, Miss Happy Apple, for always being here. And Dolly's in the house. What's going on, Dolly? Thank you for being here, Dolly. So those are two moderators that are here right now, and so they will be helping out with our live stream. So be nice, or they're going to find you, and you might not be on here anymore. So you want to make sure you're appropriate. You're not going after anybody and stuff like that, and calling people out and calling people names and things like that. So let's go over what we're going to talk about today. So we're going to talk about this whole stimulus check failure. If you guys didn't catch my video, I did a video earlier today talking about the stimulus checks and the fact that this is a failure. I don't know how else to look at this. We have two proposals that are out right now, and one of them, or not one of them, both of them don't have stimulus checks in them. And that's very troubling. Now, we're going to listen to President-elect Joe Biden, and there's a clip of President-elect Joe Biden talking about a variety of different things when it comes to the stimulus package. He doesn't seem to be too worried about it. I don't know. I've been watching this for the last 7 months, and I've been talking about it for the last 7 months. And I thought we at least got to a place where we had all the politicians on board for another stimulus check with the stimulus package. Apparently not, because no mention of stimulus checks in either of these proposals. And it looks like Nancy Pelosi is okay with this $908 billion proposal. And I know she said it was a framework. I'm going a little more into it. let me hold on, because I'm saying too much, because I want to start the show at 7:15. That's when everyone will hopefully be here at 7:15. And so I don't want to say too much. But basically, yes, we're going to talk about that. We're going to listen to Joe Biden. We're also I'm going to show you. There's a tweet that AOC put out. So I'm going to show you that. And then there's some good news about student loans, so we'll talk about that as well. Those are the topics. I have things kind of they're in different places now. I have my chat screen over here off to my left, and so it's a little bit different. So I'm going to have to get used to that. But nonetheless, Instagram. Go over to Instagram. I'm on there right now, live. and make sure you follow me there and watch the live. You can watch it from both places. I don't know how that's going to work as far as the audio. It might kind of mess with you. Maybe you can just play one with audio and one without. But I will be answering some questions over there. But go over there and follow me. I'm trying to get followers on Instagram. I want to be Insta famous. So yeah, if you guys can please do that, I appreciate it. Travel Explore Click. That's where I am on Instagram. I'm going to be saying that a few times throughout this stream here, because I definitely want to get more people following me. I want to be more active on Instagram. I want to post pictures of what I eat and kind of a behind the scenes me, right? So you don't I've always looked at it this way, and I haven't really focused on Instagram, but I've always looked at YouTube as more of the professional kind of, I don't want to show you everything that I do on YouTube. I wanted to show you kind of more the professional end, but Instagram has always been that place where you can kind of do little things, show little clips of things that you're doing. It doesn't have to be professional. So yeah, that's what I want to do. So follow me on Instagram. I see we have 6 people on Instagram following me right now, or live right now with me. So make sure you guys go over there. And if you don't want to watch me on Instagram, just go over there and follow me. Okay. So we're going to get to it in very, very shortly. We'll go ahead and get over to the topics at hand. If you guys have questions, just put @TEC and I will answer those questions. So if you have anything right now, before we get started with the show, you can go ahead and ask me a question and we'll answer. Looks like someone with their hands up. Tweets and what is that? All right. And also, if you guys don't know, I have a Twitter account. So you can follow me on Twitter at the TE Show Live. That's where you can follow me on Twitter. I just created that account. I have 2 accounts, actually. The TE Show Live, and then I also have the Travel Explore Click. That was my original one. But follow me on the TE Show Live. I want to build that one up because that's where I'm going to tweet a lot of stuff about the topics that we talk about on the show. All right. So any questions, just put @TEC, and we'll go ahead and answer those questions right before the show gets officially started. Let's see, is this a 6% unemployment that leads politicians to believe that stimulus aren't needed? Interesting, right? 6.7, that's the new number when it comes to where we are. Our unemployment rate is at 6.7%. And yeah, is this, politicians think this is good? And I wish I would have taken a screenshot. You know what? I'll do a video tomorrow, and I will show you this V-shaped recovery that Larry Kudlow is always talking about. We're going to show you what that we're going to show you the shape of that graph. I'll show it to you tomorrow. I didn't do a screenshot of it, so I just have the video of it. So I'll do an official video. I'll do a video, do a screenshot so I can show you on that video. But I'll do that tomorrow. Let's see. How's life treating me? Smooth. Life is treating me well, man. No complaints. No complaints at all. Well, the only complaint is this COVID situation that we're dealing with right now. Hopefully we can get past that. The vaccine, I don't know about you, but I like to travel, so I am taking the vaccine, and I hope we can get out, and I hope we'll be able to get out and travel. Maybe March, April, I don't know. That's the hope. Okay. Will we see a stimulus bill with checks before December deadline? That's Marty asking that question. I don't know. I think we're going to see a stimulus package, but the whole stimulus check thing is what we really need to focus on, because I don't know where we're going with that. Okay. All right. Let me show you guys something. This is what I wanted to show you before we get officially started. This was pretty troubling. I was upset about this, and still upset about it, but right now there's not much that I can do, but I do want to show it to you just so you guys know what's going on. Okay, so let's go ahead and flip this over here. All right, so, and I don't think Greg Cole has anything to do with this. I think he just put a comment up there. Using profanity there. Oh, I don't like that. But anyway, you see this? This is not me. That is not me. someone has created an account very similar to mine. They put the TEC show. They probably added an extra space at the end there, and YouTube picked that up. So if you see anything like this, that's not me. So just be aware of that. One of the giveaways, as you can see on my picture, they weren't able to, they kind of just did a little circle cutout of me, so it doesn't look the same as mine. If you look at my original one, it will look like that. Just look at it this way. I will never, ever put any stuff like this on here where I'm telling you to go to WhatsApp and call this number. I'm never going to do anything like that. Okay, I'm not going to solicit you to do things like that. I might say thank you for watching the video and all that good stuff, but I'm not going into, you know, asking you to go and call this or number or whatever. So don't follow that. Now, this has not just happened to me. This has been happening to a lot of YouTubers that are putting out videos that deal with financial stuff. So they've been going around. I heard about it a while ago, but I wasn't a victim of it until today. Miss Happy Apple, or actually it was yesterday, Miss Happy Apple brought it to my attention. And so just, I mean, it's one of those deals. It's like, and they keep doing it. And it wasn't the only one. Here's another one. Same thing. Just put the comment, same exact comment. It's not me. Okay. It's not me. So just understand, I'm not going to ask you guys to do anything like that. So if you ever see anything like that, make sure you can either let me know. I'm trying my best to figure out, and when I find it, block the people. But what they do is they just create another account and they put it out again. YouTube really needs to crack down on it, because obviously if it's my name and it's not me and I block it, I put hide user, they shouldn't be able to create that same name again and go right back into the account. Because that's all they're doing. They're creating the name. They're putting an extra space in there somewhere. So, yes, please, if you see that, let me know. You can let me know in the Discord. We do have a Discord. You can check the description, and you can go to our Discord and follow us over there if you want to do that as well. All righty. We have more people on Instagram. What's going on, Instagram? Thank you guys all for being there. And if you're watching me live on YouTube, go over to Instagram. Watch me on Instagram too, or at least follow me on Instagram. I'm going to start doing videos, just random videos on Instagram where I'm just, you know, my daily stuff. Okay, so let's see. We got a question from Instagram. Why do you think they don't want to give us money even though we built this country? So, yeah, I mean, it's really interesting how YouTube, it's really interesting how the politicians how they're acting right now. Like, how long have we been talking about this? How many politicians have said, yes, we need stimulus checks? And Jerome Powell, all these people saying we need stimulus checks. And now all of a sudden, oh, you know what? We're going to do without. Maybe we'll get something done in February or, you know, late January when President-elect Joe Biden comes into office. It's just crazy, right? I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me. You know what? I would prefer them hold off something else, like the PPP funding. Hold that off, because you know that's going to get done, and put stimulus checks in there in place, or in place of. I mean, it's just amazing to me. All right, we got about 10. Or you know what? We're not going to wait 10 minutes. We're going to go a little early, start a little early today. But what's my Instagram? So my Instagram is @TravelExploreClick. I don't know if you can do a link. I don't know how that all works. Hey, look, I don't know anything I don't know much about Instagram. I have about 500 followers right now. I'm really trying to build it up. I want to build, I like it. I like Instagram, but I just don't use it. But I want to use it for the behind the scenes stuff. I want to show you guys a lot of the different things that I do on a day-to-day, what I eat, where I hang out. Well, not hang out. That's a little too personal, but you know what I mean. Like, just different things that I do. Do a quick story here or there and all that good stuff. All right. So any other questions? We'll answer a couple more, and then we'll get the show started. Let's see. Miss Happy Apple says, I never go to Instagram. Yeah, I really shied away from Instagram for a very, very long time. The main reason is I like to put my photography stuff on Instagram, but I didn't like the format. I like the landscape format, and so I fought it for a long time, and then eventually everybody's there, right? Everybody's on Instagram, so then that's where I started to gravitate and put more video or more pictures on Instagram. But I still don't like it. I don't like the vertical video that I have showing right now on Instagram. I like it, the landscape way, but you got to kind of go with what people want, right? And people have gotten to a point now where they like the vertical videos. So at least on Instagram, I'll never do it on YouTube, but Instagram it works. And I understand it's your phone, you can see it a little bit better. Okay. Yeah, if Dalai Lamas, thank you for putting that link up there. Yeah, so you can follow me on that link. Thank you very much, Dolly. I appreciate that because I didn't even know like you could put a link like that. Anyway, yeah, just follow me. Follow me on Instagram. Okay, what do you think about John Delaney's idea of giving stimulus checks? Okay, we'll talk. We're going to talk about that. We will talk about that. Remind me if I don't bring it up at the end, then remind me, please, because I do want to talk about that whole vaccine for stimulus check thing. I don't know. I don't know what's going on anymore. Let's see. Smooth's asking, are we getting a stimulus check? We don't know. We don't know. We do not know what these politicians have in store, unfortunately. Inform people that they need to do their research on people they vote for, re-vote for. Well, I mean, you should be doing your research when it comes to voting for anyone, period. And if you don't know, and I always tell people this because it's like, well, it's impossible for me to know all the different politicians that are out there. And if you haven't done the research, then don't vote. Don't vote for that section. So if it's a judge that you don't know about and you haven't done research on, if it's a politician that you don't know about and you haven't done research on, then you don't have to vote for that race. You can vote for all the other races, but definitely do your homework so you know what's going on and hold them accountable. Don't just do your homework to vote for them, but if stuff isn't working, you need to let them know. Look, like you should be upset right now if you wanted a stimulus check and you're not getting one. Well, I shouldn't say that. We don't know if we're getting one or not. But if there's a situation where we don't get one, and these are some of the same politicians prior to the election that were saying, yes, I'm for stimulus checks, you need to let them know, hey, what happened? And then they're going to probably say, well, we're going to wait until Joe Biden comes into office. But there are no guarantees. Do it now. Don't wait. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what's going to happen with Georgia. Georgia's going to be a big deciding factor. All right, so let's go ahead and officially get started. So thank you guys all for stopping by. This is the TEC show live. So we're gonna talk about a few different things. The first thing that I want to talk about is that Joe Biden had a press conference earlier today. So I'm going to show you a clip, and this is just two reporters asking questions, and so we'll take a look at it. And we'll talk a little bit about it. I'm hoping that President-elect Joe Biden knows what's going on when it comes to how to handle this situation, this stimulus package situation, because that's what we're going to focus on there. We're also going to talk a little bit about AOC posted a tweet earlier this morning. Thought it was interesting. I do want to bring that up. And talk a little bit about that because it's about stimulus checks. Also, we're going to talk about the vaccine, the whole vaccine for stimulus check thing. We're going to talk about that. And we're going to talk about one other thing, but I can't remember what it was. Man, I didn't write anything down. This was a very, very impromptu, hey, let's go live. It sounds like a good idea. And so that's the only reason that I'm like, I just decided like 40 minutes ago, hey, I want to go live and got everything set up. And I didn't write anything down, which is not usually what you want to do. You want to have stuff written down. That way you can at least revert back to it. If you guys did not know about the jobs numbers, I do have that written down because I was going to do a video earlier about that. So 245,000 people were able to find employment. That's down. That's way down from the numbers that we were seeing before. So in November, numbers have gone way down. And usually, I mean, it's kind of, we're in a different situation because of the pandemic, obviously, but usually during the holidays, we have the seasonal workers where people are going to work, working at the department stores and stuff like that. But since we're in kind of a different situation, that's just not happening. Even in warehouses and things like that, like Amazon warehouse, I would imagine things would be picking up there, so they'd hire more people. We did have people working, doing a variety of different things, but right now, I mean, the numbers are way, way down. 6.7% is our new unemployment rate. So it's dropped a slight dip, just a slight dip. So we're still not, we're far from out of the woods at this point. And so that is more, should be more ammo when it comes to we need stimulus. We definitely need something. California, I live in California. I live in Southern California, but California, they are contemplating the stay-at-home orders. I believe San Francisco, I think it was the mayor that actually decided, we're going to do the stay-at-home. We're going to enforce that now. But the governor has pretty much told the state if the hospitalization rate drops, I think if it drops to 15% or below, if it drops to 15%, then there's going to be a stay-at-home order. And I think it's important for us to really focus on that because a lot of people don't think about that. The hospital rate, that's what we're really concerned about. I mean, obviously, we're concerned about people who die from COVID. We're concerned about people who test positive for COVID. But we're also really concerned about the hospitalization because when hospitalization rises, then now you don't have hospital space for other people who get sick for a variety of different reasons or get injured. So it's very, very important that we focus on that as well. And so in California, that's what they're saying. If it drops 15% or below, there's going to be a stay-at-home order. We also heard that Joe Biden wants to do the 100 days of wearing a mask, like a mandatory mask, a mandate. So everyone has to wear a mask for 100 days. Now, in certain areas, right? If you're outside, I think you're fine. I don't know. I shouldn't say that because I don't know as far as outside. But if you go into federal buildings, things like that, you need to wear a mask. And I would imagine probably the state's going to come down with something saying if you're in any building, you need to wear a mask. Which, I mean, it's kind of the way things have been in California. Southern California, we've been wearing a mask this whole time. Like if I go to a grocery store, I'll put on a mask. When I'm indoors, generally, I'm wearing a mask. All right, so I want to show you guys this video clip. And this is Joe Biden at the press conference earlier today, and then we're going to talk about it.
Quickly on the coronavirus vaccine.
Okay, that was the end of it. Let me start it from the beginning here. All right, restart. Okay, live TV or live YouTube. Here we go.
Thank you, Mr. President-elect. You just said a couple of minutes ago that there's no time to waste when it comes to economic stimulus, but Democrats and Republicans have been in a stalemate for several months as they have been negotiating and trying to talk about what kind of stimulus to put together. You were elected by more than 80 million people to try to break that logjam. Can you talk about specifically what you have done over these past several weeks to actually work with Democrats and Republicans, speaking to congressional leaders to get them to agree on a stimulus package? And what do you say to people like Senator Sanders on the left flank of your party who have come out against this stimulus program already? They have said that this $900 billion deal is not good enough.
Well, it would be kind of stupid for me to tell you what I did, wouldn't it? because it'd be kind of hard to do it again. I told you all that I was confident we'd get a bipartisan agreement on this stuff. And I think we will, not just on this package, but I think beyond. And the last thing I'm going to do is tell you strategically how I go about this. I remember I used to get asked the same thing when I was putting together significant deals between Democrats and Republicans when I was a senator and vice president. It's just not a very smart thing. It's like me asking you, tell me how you get your sources and how'd you get those sources you got in order to get that story. It would be ridiculous for you to tell me or your colleagues how you did it. All I can say is I'm confident there are a sufficient number of Democrats and Republicans in the United States Senate, along with significant votes coming out of the House of Representatives, to put together a serious package that will keep us from going off the edge here, provide the kind of resources that are needed immediately. It's not going to satisfy everybody, but the option is, if you insist on everything, we're likely to get nothing on both sides. And so I think they're on their way to being able to come up with a package that meets the basic immediate needs that we have. But I've made it real clear. It's just a down payment. This is not the end of the deal.
All right, so I have to jump in here. Immediate need. I think stimulus checks should fall in that category. That's one. The other thing, the down payment thing. I don't, I would like to believe that, yes, this is a down payment and you're going to move forward and we'll have more things in the future, but there are no guarantees of anything happening in the future. And if Mitch McConnell, if Georgia doesn't go blue, if you don't have two Democratic senators coming out of Georgia, Mitch McConnell will stall. He's not going to do anything else. And that will be a guarantee. He will not go for anything. And so I think, Joe Biden means well, but I think Joe Biden came from a different era when he was in Congress and when he was a senator. And that was a time where politicians got along a lot better than the way they do now. And so you have a real big divide. And it's obvious. It's obvious a big divide. Obviously a big divide. President Trump is talking about not going to President-elect Joe Biden's inauguration. That's just unheard of. And so there's a huge divide, and I think that President-elect Joe Biden, he thinks that everything will be fine as far as he can negotiate with them and talk with them. But I don't know. I think he has a rude awakening. I think when he gets there, he's going to realize that some of these same politicians that worked with him in the past on the other side, the Republicans that worked with him in the past, are not going to be there anymore. And they're not going to help him. They're just going to let, we're not going to be able to move forward with anything else. I hope we can, but I would rather do something now than to try to wait, do something a little bit now. I'd rather do a full package now, something that will get us through the summer, and then work on, if you want to work on something else later, then work on something else later. But it needs to have stimulus checks in it. It definitely needs to have stimulus checks. All right, let's go ahead and continue.
So I've been relatively good at negotiating over my career because I never, number one, reveal something somebody doesn't want me to in the deal, and number two, because I always keep my word.
There are a number of progressives, including Senator Sanders, who have criticized this deal in part because it does not include the $1,200 checks that were in the last deal.
Yes.
What do you say about that? They say that the American people who are hurting, maybe not the small businesses, but just the everyday families, they don't have anything in this deal. They're not getting any of the stimulus that's in this $900 billion package.
That's not what I understand, but I think it would be better if they had the $1,200. I understand that may be still in play.
Now, he's saying he understands that may still be in play. So let's talk about how the only way that it can be in play. The only way that it can be in play is that $908 billion needs to increase to 1,200. It needs to go, or 1,200. It needs to go over a trillion. If it doesn't go over a trillion, then we're not getting stimulus checks, because according to this bipartisan proposal, they need that $908 billion. and some of the money is going to be coming from the Federal Reserve. It's not all money that was allocated, or it's some of the money will be coming from that Fed Reserve. They'll be repurposing that money into this bipartisan proposal. So they're going to need more money, basically. If you want to add stimulus checks, you need more money to do that. It's not going to be $900 billion. It's going to go up. And so I would hope that that were the case, that they would add stimulus checks to this. But I don't know. If you want to keep it under $1 trillion, you're not going to be able to do it unless you cut some other things out. And I can't see anything that they'll cut out that'll give them that amount. We're talking $300 billion is what they need. At least $300 billion in order for another round of stimulus checks. All right, let's go ahead and continue.
But I'm not going to comment on the specific details. The whole purpose of this is we've got to make sure people aren't thrown out of their apartments, lose their homes.
I agree with that.
Are able to have unemployment insurance they can continue to feed their families on.
I agree with
that. As we grow back the economy, be in a position where
though.
we provide for help to localities so they're not continuing to lay off school teachers and firefighters, et cetera, first responders, and to make sure we're in a position that we're able to generate the kind of growth that is a consequence of this by allowing, it costs a lot of money to keep schools and businesses open. On the COVID side of the equation, they're all pieces should be in it. There's much more. If I were writing it, I think the proposal that, quite frankly, the HEROES Act that the House passed, that's what I would support. But, this is a democracy, and there are you've got to find a sweet spot where you have enough people willing to move in a direction that gets us a long way down the road, but isn't the whole answer.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So one more question. This reporter had a good question as well.
Thank you, Mr. President-elect. You're describing this compromise bill as a down payment, that you'll push Congress to do more once you're in office. But this bill is already more than Republican leaders want to spend. What if this isn't a down payment? What if this bill is it? What are your options then to get Americans additional relief?
I never start off thinking that way.
And like I said, I think things have changed a lot. And so President-elect Joe Biden said, I'm confident that we can get something. We can get something. This won't be the only bill. But we thought we could get another proposal, another stimulus package after the CARES Act. And we've been waiting since May 15th to get something else. So I'm hoping, and President-elect Joe Biden seems, I think there is some talking, and there's evidence of this, that they are talking, okay? Like, I think Joe Biden has talked to Mitch McConnell, and you'll see later on he's asked a question about it, and he doesn't answer the question because I think they are talking back and forth. Maybe he knows a lot more than what I'm sure he knows a lot more than what he's letting us know about. But it is frustrating to watch because I'm just thinking we've been waiting way too long, and I don't know. I don't know if there's going to be anything else. So let's go ahead and continue.
I always start off believing we can get it done. We'll get it done.
But it's been more than 6 months this fight has been going on. Mitch McConnell still hasn't even signed off yet on this compromise bill. What makes you so confident that you will be able to get Republicans to go big once you're in office?
Well, because the country's going to be in dire straits if they don't.
We have been for a very, very long time. I don't think that's pushing the needle for politicians. They're out of touch when it comes to the American people. So they're not even paying attention to people who are struggling. It's crazy. So like I said, I'm hoping President-elect Joe Biden knows stuff that we don't know, but we've been waiting a long time, and I've been following it, and you guys have been going through it and following it with me. So you guys know that things have been really bad, and we haven't seen any help. All right, let's go ahead and continue.
Have you reached out to Leader McConnell? Have the two of you spoken yet?
We'll be in dire trouble if we don't get cooperation. I believe we will.
All right, so he didn't answer that question. Have you been in talks with Mitch McConnell? Look at his face. Look at the smile. Yeah. So they're obviously talking. And so maybe that's why he feels so confident about it, because he's talked to him, and maybe Mitch McConnell has given him some information telling him, look, yeah, we'll move forward. I don't know, but Mitch McConnell's not saying anything to us, but maybe that's what's going on. All right, let's go ahead and continue.
Thank you.
Just one more question, and then we'll come back to me.
Thank you, Mr. President-elect. You noted today that 1 in 6 renters are behind in their rent. Millions of Americans remain unemployed. You say the situation is urgent. When you come into office, you expect to pass executive orders dealing with those specific issues. And also, do you at all plan to pass trillions of dollars of aid? Is that what you have in mind when you say we need to go big, or are we looking at billions of dollars?
We're looking at hundreds of billions of dollars. Look, again, I've learned after hanging around in this business for a while, the last thing you do before you begin a negotiation is lay down a drop-dead marker. And if it's not this, I'm not going to talk to you. I think there's a lot we can get done. And I think people are going to see the overwhelming necessity. What's going to start to happen is a lot of folks who represent Republican districts are going to find their Republican neighbors are in real trouble as things get worse. They're going to find that there's an overwhelming need as these numbers skyrocket. You remember my saying that I believe the experts we'd had at least another 250 dead before the end of the year. And they went, oh, no, all right. Guess what? Look what's happening. It's going to get much worse. It's going to get much worse. And so I believe that there are enough Republicans who will join enough Democrats in the United States Senate to get a majority, along with the House, to get it done. But we'll see. We'll see. This is a step at a time.
And on executive orders?
Well, I'd issue executive orders that are totally within the purview of an executive. But one of the things I don't like is I don't like people saying that I can, by executive order, do the following things, which there is no basis in the Constitution to suggest it can be done. So there are certain things I can do. I can issue executive orders pulling back some of the executive orders that Trump put forward. But I can't issue an executive order saying we're going to spend X billion dollars on this issue without getting the Congress appropriates and is responsible for distributing that money.
And then
All righty. Okay, so that was the portion I wanted to show you. That actually went a little longer than I anticipated. However, maybe it's because I talked too much. However, so that it's interesting. It's interesting, and I'm hoping that President-elect Joe Biden is talking with Mitch McConnell already, because if that's happening, then maybe we're in a good situation, or in a better situation than it seems. Because right now, I'm just looking at past history, and past history, we haven't been able to move forward with anything. So, Rocky, thank you for becoming a member. So if you guys don't know, we do have memberships here. So if you want to become a member, all you need to do is there's a join button right next to the subscribe button. If you click on that join button, you can find out how to become a member. And we will be getting back. I did not do a live stream in November. However, I'm going to do 2 live streams in December. Members only live stream. So if you guys want to ask me questions and things like that, it's a more laid back, relaxed atmosphere where we'll just hang out and talk. So we will be doing 2 live streams in December. But thank you very much, Rocky, for becoming a member. All right. One more thing. Actually, you know, I thought I had a tweet from AOC, but this is not a tweet from AOC. Well, I guess it is a tweet from AOC, but it is her responding, being the Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez that she is. Someone tweeted this out. AOC and Rashida Tlaib calling for COVID relief plan to include $1,200 stimulus checks. And so that's what this person tweeted, this person, Jeff. And then she put another day in the radical left with our crazy ideas. Crazy ideas, right? I mean, we've been talking about stimulus checks forever. and politicians have all been on board. At least they say they've been saying they're on board. And then now we're looking at this situation. I mean, it amazes me. I mean, it's really amazing to look at the situation that we're in. All right, I want to pull up one more thing here. Hey, why isn't that working? Let's see here. Okay, so I just want to pull up what we're looking at again when it comes to this $908 billion, and we're going to try to figure out where. I mean, you're going to have to add to this. We need $300 billion for stimulus checks, so you can't just keep this at a $908 billion bill. You're going to have to add to it, or you're going to have to take some stuff out. So I just wanted to kind of look at it just to see, is there anything in here that could potentially be taken out? We don't want to take out state and local funding. That's $160 billion. Enhanced unemployment, you don't want to take that out. PPP, that's the closest to what we're looking at when it comes to that $300 billion that we would need for another round of stimulus checks. $12 billion here. So, I mean, the rest of them are really small. Unless you get rid of all this stuff, you can't do that. The airline industry, $45 billion. You need to keep that in there. So all the stuff that's in here, I agree needs to be in here. But you do need to add another at least $300 billion for stimulus checks. So that's where we are. So we're not looking at it. We wouldn't be if we have stimulus checks in there, we wouldn't be looking at this $900 billion. It's gonna go over $1 trillion. So yeah, I don't know. I really don't know what to say anymore when it comes down to it. But very, very disappointed, as you guys saw earlier when I talked about this whole situation. I was very disappointed in how Nancy Pelosi just pretty much was like, okay, yeah, $908 billion. We'll go with that first, and then we'll use that as a framework. And when she said we'll use it as a framework, I still had hope. Okay, you're going to use it as a framework. That means you're going to add to it. This is just the bare bones. And when they started talking about no, $908 billion is a good number, then that, all bets are off. If it's $908 billion, no stimulus checks. That's what they're saying. Okay, one more thing here we want to talk about student loans. So they have extended the moratorium for student loans to January 31st. Okay, and that's the education secretary that did that, and that is news that just happened a couple of hours ago. So that's good news. They're going to extend it for until January 31st, and then obviously when President-elect Joe Biden comes in January 20th, then we might see something different happen. And there is money in this proposal, this $908 billion proposal. There's money for I think it was $4 billion for student loans. And I guess it would be forgiveness, but how much? I mean, $4 billion is a lot of money, but how far is that really going to go? That's what we would have to see. So what number are we looking at? Is it going to be $5,000 forgiveness, $10,000 forgiveness? We don't have all that information because right now all we have is just kind of the bullet points of what this bipartisan group wanted to create. Now, I keep talking about the $908 billion. That's what Nancy Pelosi wants. That's what Joe Biden has been talking about. However, you have Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell has his own proposal, and let's pull that up as well, because his proposal, and I put a video out about this. I'm briefly going to go over this, but if you check out, I put a video out like 3 days ago, and it's new proposals. And so if you check that video out, I go into more detail on that video. I don't want to take that much time to do it here, but there are two key things that you need to know about this proposal. Actually, three. The first thing is it's a terrible proposal. This is worse than the skinny bill. And there's no enhanced unemployment. There's just an extension of the regular unemployment. So you're not going to get that additional $300 per week or what have you. That's not in this proposal. There are no stimulus checks in this proposal. And so some things, there's more money for schools in this proposal, $105 billion. The other proposal, the $908 billion proposal, had $82 billion. So there's more money there. But this proposal as a whole is it's just not a good proposal. And it's going in the other direction, which is just crazy. The most money, of course, is going to small business and PPP, $332 billion, which is more than that $908 billion proposal that had, what was it, $288 billion. So, yeah, that's it. That's where we are. That's where we are at this point. Now, there was that question about the vaccine. I can't remember the former congressperson's name, but I think Delaney, I think is his name. But he had a proposal that, and now he's not in Congress anymore. Okay, he's just threw this out there. But the whole vaccine for stimulus checks, so $1,500 stimulus checks for people who get vaccinated. And so that is the new talk that was being talked about earlier today. I don't know how I feel about that. Now, I will tell you, I'm getting vaccinated. I don't have any problem with getting vaccinated. I do like to travel, and I think this is probably going to be a requirement if you want to travel, especially outside of the country. They're going to want you to have that paperwork. You know, they're going to want to see that paperwork. So I don't have a problem with getting vaccinated, but it just seems weird to have to get vaccinated in order to get a stimulus check. It's almost like I don't know. It's just weird. I don't know how you guys feel about it. Let me know in the chat, but I think it's just a weird thing. So I don't really know how I feel about it. Now, I do think that the more people get vaccinated, the better off we will be as far as getting past this pandemic. But I don't know about incentivizing people by giving them stimulus checks to be vaccinated. I don't know. That's kind of weird. One thing, if you guys can do me a favor, I didn't say this the whole time. I don't know. I'm getting rusty when it comes to live streams. Please hit the like button. If you hit that like button, it will promote this video out, this live stream out to more people so they can see that we're doing live streams and they can come join the fun. So, all right. I want to know what you guys are talking about. So in the chat right now, if you have a question, just put @TEC. We'll go over to do some Q&A right now. And if you are watching me, there's 2 people watching me on Instagram. I need more people over here. What's going on with Instagram? So if you guys can come over to Instagram, I will also answer some questions in Instagram as well. So if you have a question and you ask me, you know what? If you ask me on YouTube and I don't answer, you can go over to Instagram. And there are not that many people on Instagram. There's 2 people in there. So you can probably get that question answered. So just put @TEC, and that will let me know that you have a question for me. And for my old school people that have been watching me for over a year, I have another set, a YouTube set, and I haven't used it in over a year. And so I'm gonna start doing videos over there too, and kind of go back and forth. I wanted to get some stuff together. It's gonna take me a little while, but probably within a week I'll be all set up. I need another mic. I already have all the camera equipment and everything, and it's still there, so I will start shooting some videos over there as well. So Chocolatazo, what's going on, brother? What's going on, man? He's saying I won't be getting that $1,500 stimulus check. Yeah. So he's not getting that. He's not doing the vaccine. He's not getting Wait, how do you say it? Vaccinated. He's not getting vaccinated. But I don't have any problem with it. Like I said, I want to travel. So if it's required, then I'm definitely going to do it. Now I'm not going to be the first one in line. I think a lot of people say that, right? Nobody wants to be the first person to get it, but I think by the time they get around, it's going to be a few months down the road anyway. So they're doing like the medical first responders and things like that. They're going to do those people first, and then they'll come around to everyone else. So we have a little bit of time, but I don't mind. I don't mind getting the vaccine. Even though I don't do flu shots or anything like that, but I don't mind getting this one. Perfecto says, bring on the vaccination. I'm ready. All right. Will you need a mask after being vaccinated? I don't know. VA, that's a good question. I don't know. And how effective there's so much stuff we don't know. They're saying they're 90% effective. What does that mean? Because we did hear that people still got COVID after they took the vaccine, like when they were doing the trials. Now they didn't get like really sick, but they still got COVID. So if you still get COVID, that means you can still give it to someone else. So I guess you would probably still need to wear a mask, because if you get COVID, you still probably need to wear a mask and you still need to be quarantined. So yeah, we'll have to see where it goes when it comes down to it. I want to know one thing: has anyone gotten any stock on Pfizer or Moderna or any of these companies? I will say I did get Pfizer stock, and I got it for long term. I didn't just get it for this, but I think it's you know what, might as well, right? Get some stock. You never know what's going to happen in the future. So let's see. Okay, guys, questions, just put at TEC. We're going to go over some questions right now. 1.2 will be the ideal number. That's GG family saying that. I agree. It's going to have to go over $1 trillion in order for us to see stimulus checks. Now, I think you have some politicians that I'm sure, and I showed you that tweet there, that want stimulus checks, right? And they're still wanting to push for stimulus checks. So I'm hoping that these politicians step up and say, no, we need to have stimulus checks in here, and move forward with voting for something with stimulus checks in it. I'm hoping that happens. Now, it's so very frustrating. You saw what's this remaining time here? Is my battery going dead on here? I don't know how long you can go live on Instagram, but it's telling me that I only have 17. It looks like I'm frozen. I don't know. We might be going out on Instagram here. All right, let me just continue. Nancy Pelosi was pretty frustrated earlier today. She was in a press conference, and she was frustrated because, yeah, it looks like they timed me out. I don't know why they do that. Okay, no more Instagram, guys. They timed me out. Okay, so let me just get focused here. Nancy Pelosi was pretty frustrated earlier today, and she was asked a question, and she kind of got a little, she was upset. You could tell with the question. But you remember back when she was talking about the why take half a loaf? Talking about bread, like why take half a loaf? We want the full loaf. We want that 2.2 trillion. And so a reporter asked her, well, do you consider this taking half a loaf? And she got upset because, well, the reporter's right. This is half a loaf. This is half a loaf. We were looking at 2.2 trillion. Now we're looking at 900 billion without stimulus checks and the $300 enhanced unemployment. So, yeah, she got a little annoyed with that question. Rocky, thank you for the super chat. Yeah, I just don't know. I don't know what to say anymore when it comes down to this whole situation. It's just it's amazing how how politicians just forget about stuff. Simple as that. They just forget about it. And it's like we weren't, like, I don't know, like how they can think that we're just going to forget about it. I don't know. But you shouldn't promise something or say something's going to be in a proposal and then when it comes down to it, not have it in the proposal and not explain why it's not in the proposal. That's what I want to know. Why is it not in the proposal? Is it because you think you can get it later? That's not a good reason, because you know how hard it is just to get a stimulus package done. These politicians have been going back and forth for 7 months, And so they think that all of a sudden they'll be able to get something done in early January. It's just not going to happen. Rocky, thank you for the other super chat. I appreciate that. Rocky, if you have questions, put them in the super chat. That way I can answer them for you. Okay, so we're gonna go over some questions now. Let's see. Dolly saying I bought Pfizer as well. Yeah, you know what? I mean, might as well. PC said I got Moderna and a little bit of Pfizer. You put Madonna. I don't know why. I don't know if that's a joke or what. Let's see. All right, guys, any questions, go ahead and put them out there. Now, you did hear some presidents talking about they're going to get the vaccine on camera, so that's interesting. Some of the former presidents, I should say. Okay. So questions, go ahead and put them out. Let's see. Can we expect a sizable stimulus bill with checks? Marty, I don't know what. Well, we know what we're looking at right now, and if you're saying sizable, if you consider $908 billion being sizable, then we're looking at a sizable stimulus bill. But the checks right now, it's up in the air. Oh, okay. I actually should have read your whole question. When Joe Biden takes office in January. So are we looking at a sizable stimulus bill in checks when Biden takes office? I don't know. I'm hoping that Biden knows something that we don't know about negotiating and being able to get the senators on board. But that's going to be a struggle. The one thing that we can look at is Georgia. If Georgia goes blue, then there's a really, I mean, if Georgia goes blue, then we should be able to get another stimulus package. Even if they do something now, we should be able to get something else with stimulus checks in it. But if it doesn't go blue, which it's going to be very hard for it to go blue, where you have two Democrats coming from Georgia. I think it's probably going to split 1-1. But we'll have to see. I don't know. There's some crazy stuff going on. President Trump is going to be there tomorrow, campaigning. So it'll be interesting to see what President Trump says, because you've already had some Republican leaders, or I won't say leaders, but you've had some Republicans come out in Georgia telling people don't vote. Like, why would you tell them not to vote? I don't know, but you have them telling them not to vote, that it's corrupt and all this. So that's not a good thing. If you're telling people not to vote, well, then you're hurting those candidates, those Republican candidates, because you're going to have people not showing up to vote because they think that it's corrupt. And so it's going to be interesting to see. All eyes are going to be on Georgia tomorrow when President Trump goes out there, because what is President Trump going to say? Is he going to say it's rigged? Is he going to say there's problems with the voting? Because if he does say that, well, now you're discouraging people from going out and voting. So you're doing the opposite of what you should be doing if you're going to try to help candidates win an election. So we'll see. I'm going to be watching tomorrow for sure. Okay, let's see. How long will immunity last with the vaccines? I don't know. I have no idea. I don't think we're going to know that until it's actually rolled out and people start taking it and they start doing tests with it. I don't know how long it will last. Let's see. Do you see the Democrats now have a better shot at taking control of the Senate because Trump campaigns are okay? So I just answered that question. I answered it even before you asked it, but yeah, I don't know. Like I said, all eyes on Georgia tomorrow. I think tomorrow, because President Trump has a very big influence over Republicans. And so if he does say some stuff like that it's corrupt and it's rigged, that is going to affect the turnout. And that will benefit the Democrats that are running for Senate in Georgia. All right. Oh, so Dolly's telling me that there's a time limit for videos. Okay, yeah, I wasn't aware of that. So I'm learning Instagram. I don't know how it's. I just saw it like counting down. So we'll get it all figured out. I can't talk long like I do on YouTube. I guess they don't want it. They don't want you to have to start up another live. Okay. Other questions? Go ahead and put it in the chat. We'll be on for a few more minutes here. Thank you guys all for coming by. This is a last minute little thing I wanted to do. I didn't plan it ahead. I just said, you know what? I want to go live today. I saw some other people, Andrea from Love Crossing Borders. They went live, and I'm like, oh, you know what? I want to go live. And so I went ahead and did it. Did a live stream. Okay. Let's see. So, Gene, we don't know if this $300 unemployment is going to be the enhanced unemployment will be retroactive and how far back they will be going. We don't know that yet. We need to find out the fine details. Now, this $908 billion proposal, they are working out the language right now. So hopefully by next week, I think they indicated, this bipartisan group of senators indicated that by next week they will have the language of this proposal. Right now, they're just telling us what they want in it, but they're not telling us the language. So once we get the language, then we'll know exactly if it's going to be retroactive and how long it will be. Thank you for the super chat. Timothy, thank you very much. Thanks for not doing clickbaits. Like you a lot. YouTube channel. Thank you very much. I try not to do clickbait, clickbait titles. Although sometimes it's hard. You guys got to understand, because you have politicians that say a lot of different things, especially if it's President Trump, and they'll say things, and all I'm doing is quoting what they're saying, and then we talk about it, and I tell you if I think it's if it's truthful or not. But yeah, you have you have politicians that will say a variety of different things, and so you just put it out there and go from there. Rocky, thank you again for another super chat. Thank you very much. Let's see, do you have a question on that one? No. All right. If you have questions, Rocky, like I said, let me know. Let's see. GC Love is asking, what can we do to push Congress? Well, you can contact your Congress people and let them know, look, this is what I expect, but it takes a lot of people to be calling these politicians before they really start to listen, unfortunately. Businesses have a better opportunity, corporations and stuff like that, because they have money, and they put that money forward and help with campaigns and things like that, and so they get a better result, a better return on their investment. Okay, let's see. So that's why they won't give us stimulus checks. They want to bait us for money and take take the mark of the beast. All right. Let's see. Okay, so let's see. So as far as December 11th, now we know the omnibus bill needs to be, we need to see if there's going to be a continuing resolution December 11th. So for the budget, now they're talking about including this stimulus package in with this omnibus bill. So if that happens, then yes, we will see something next week. But and that's what they want to do. They want to put it all together. And the main reason they want to put it all together is because they want to go on recess. That's why they want to put it all together. They want to go on Christmas break. So if they don't put it all together, then now you're going to have the omnibus talk, and then I'll have that bill, and then they're going to have to wait probably another week in order to do a stimulus package. So because of that, they want to put it together. That way they can just vote on one big bill. When I say big bill, I mean the budget and the stimulus package, and then go on their Christmas break and not have to return until January. Okay, let's see. All right, guys. Any questions? Just put at TEC. David saying clickbait. All right. Let's see. And Ron is saying that Georgia will go blue, guaranteed. We'll see. A lot is riding on Georgia. This is going to be a really closely watched race. Well, it's already a closely watched race, but there's going to be a lot of money going through Georgia. All right. Okay, guys. Any other questions? I'll give you a couple minutes. If you have a question, go ahead and put it out there. I looked over here for my Instagram. It's not on anymore. I was going to answer questions on Instagram too, but if you guys have not followed me on Instagram, please do. It's at Travel Explore Click. Just go over there and follow me. And I will be putting out some behind the scenes videos on Instagram. So you're going to want to go over there and see what I do behind the scenes. All right. Anything else? Let's see. Is there yet an official date for the under $1 trillion proposed bill to be passed? And if so, okay. So, good question, John. I just answered pretty much that question, but December 11th is probably when we will see something. Now, we don't know which bill it's going to be. Is it going to be Mitch McConnell's bill? Is it going to be the $908 billion bipartisan bill? Those are the two proposals that are out right now that we're hearing about. So we don't know which one it's going to be. It might be a little of both. It's probably going to be a little of both. They'll probably negotiate them together. Now, Nancy Pelosi and Mitch McConnell, guess what? They talked 2 days ago. Interesting, right? Or no, it was yesterday. They talked yesterday. One of the biggest problems that I had during the negotiations, the last negotiations that we've been dealing with for the last 7 months, is the fact that Mitch McConnell was never in the room or never negotiating. They didn't have contact. Mitch McConnell didn't have any contact with Nancy Pelosi or Chuck Schumer, which I thought was really odd because he is the majority leader of the Senate, and they need to legislate. So why are you not taking a part? You're not taking a part in this whole negotiation. But now, President Trump, they're not really pushing for anything now because they're in a lame duck president. So now Mitch McConnell's stepping up, which he should have been stepping up a long time ago. Okay. Marty's asking, do you think the Social Security COLA formula will be changed to keep up with the inflation? I don't know the answer to that question. I know, what was it, 1.3% is the COLA that will be starting, December 31st. I don't know what they're going to do in the future. We'll have to see where that goes. Now, we have, we still, there are things that still need to be discussed. That whole payroll tax deferral debacle, the screen just kind of flickered. I don't know what's going on. So that whole payroll tax deferral, some people were taking that. Some businesses were allowing their employees to get that extra 6%, 6.2 or whatever it is percent. So are they going to have to pay that back? Is that money still going to come from Social Security? What's going on with that? No talk. There's been no talk about that, right? You remember President Trump said, look, we're going to have this forgiven after the election. He said, well, his exact words were, after I get reelected, then we'll take care of that. It'll be forgiven. Well, we're not looking at that situation now. So what's going to happen with that? Where is that money going to come from, the general fund, like he said? I mean, he said, or actually, he didn't say that, but Stephen Mnuchin said, oh, it's going to come out of the general fund. And then I think the president actually said that as well. But so what does that mean? Like, if it comes out of the general fund, if you're taking money from the general fund, where is that money supposed to go? Like, if it's, it's a mess right now. So we're going to have to try to figure out what's going on with that whole situation, because that was money taken directly from the Social Security. And so now it's going to have to be backfilled by the general fund. I don't know what they're going to do. Let's see. TC, do we have to pay taxes on the last stimulus check? So the last stimulus check, if you're talking about the last one that we had before, no, you don't have to pay taxes on that. It's actually a tax advance, or what's it? It's an advance credit, basically. So it's a tax credit that was advanced to you. So for 2020, you got this tax credit, this $1,200 tax credit. And all they did, instead of waiting until the end, waiting until you file your taxes, your 2020 taxes, to give you the $1,200, they gave it to you early. So that's what the stimulus check was. So a lot of people that are talking about this whole stimulus check and free money and all this, look, it's just like a tax break. It's the same thing. The only thing is they advanced it to you. So there are a lot of people, especially, and Republicans had a big issue with the whole stimulus, or some Republicans had a big issue. Some senators had a big issue with stimulus checks and stimulus package and all this. But this is a tax credit. This is like reducing your taxes temporarily, is what it is. It's giving you extra money. So that's all it was. And if they do another one, that's all, it'll be the same thing. So you don't have to pay taxes on it. Okay. Any other questions? I just want to answer a few more questions before we go. Oh, let's see. All right, guys. Any other questions? All right, I'm just reading some of the other stuff that's on here. ML Family is asking, do you think we'll get another stimulus check? Right now, it's up in the air. That's all I can say at this point. Yeah, it's up in the air. Any other questions? One more minute. Yeah, so in unemployment, that is true, Gene. Unemployment, you do have to pay taxes on that, so be prepared for that. And Kevin, nothing new on stimulus right now. We're just waiting to see what this proposal is going to look like next week. So we will have a proposal next week, at least. I'm imagining we're going to have the language for this proposal, so we'll know. Let's see. All right, guys. Okay, so thank you guys all for stopping by. If you guys can do me one favor, if you have not done so yet, please hit the like button. See if we can get over 1,000 likes before the end of the show. We're at 867 likes. But thank you guys all for being here. We'll be doing more live streams in the future. I like to do them on the weekends, but I've been busy doing some other things. If you're a member, you guys know what I've been doing, but it's no real surprise. But anyway, we'll be doing some more live streams. I will have a video on tomorrow and Sunday, so make sure you guys tune in for the video. I'll be putting out a video probably Saturday or tomorrow afternoon, and then Sunday afternoon. All right, guys. Thank you guys all for stopping by, and I will talk to you guys in the next one. Bye.